8 inches per mile squared isn't some math we flat earthers made up. These are the actual, factual numbers based on the official dimensions of the Earth, and you are welcome to do the math or plug the information into engineering software to verify it. I didn't believe it at first, and even Google used to falsely claim that it was only 8 inches per mile. I had to double check the math on AutoCAD just to be sure. It is a mathematical certainty that does not fit with actual repeated observations and tests. You do have to consider the height of the observer, and so you subtract the distance to the alleged globe horizon from your distance to the object. For example, I use a distance to the globe horizon calculator like this one. So, if I'm on the beach observing at 6 feet height, the maximum horizon distance under the globe would only be 3 miles. If I'm looking at an object at 10 miles distance across the water while standing at the water's edge, I first subtract the 3 miles distance to the horizon to get 7 miles distance, and then I apply the 8 inches per mile squared formula. So 7 times 8 inches divided by 12 equals 33 feet. That means for an observer 6 feet tall at the water's edge, that object 10 miles away should be hidden behind 33 feet of curvature. That's huge. That's measurable and testable. Or you can simply input the information here on this calculator. It is very accurate over all observable distances, those distances under 500 miles. The globe model proof relies upon an implausible story about a well and a shadow in ancient Egypt that has varying interpretations. In contrast, flat earthers rely on actual, concrete measurements that anyone can make to measure the supposed curvature of the Earth if there was one. Here's an infamous example of the curvature problem. How many people here can quote this weatherman? What you're seeing here is a mirage. Why is he saying that? Because the entire city of Chicago should be hidden behind the curvature of the Earth. Does that look like a mirage to you? Of course it's not. It's bullshit. Everyone here probably had warning bells go off when you heard that weatherman make that ridiculously false statement. That is no mirage. That is a direct line of sight that is often obstructed by haze, miraging, atmospheric distortion, weather, or larger, closer waves and swells that have a larger respective angular size. The hired liars out there will use these obvious atmospheric distortions or large swells and waves as proofs of the curvature. Don't let the deceivers trick you, because they're going to try. Here's another one. In this clip, the news lady again says that you're seeing a mirage. It's a photograph from Michigan to Milwaukee at a distance of 80 miles. The top of the tallest building in Milwaukee should be 3,102 feet below the horizon, according to the spherical model, but we can see much of the city line. Do you think that's line of sight or selective curvature hopping mirages that just happen to present a flat Earth? Can you allow yourself to see the problem here? I don't care if you believe me right now, but you as a rational thinking individual need to grab your telescope and your binoculars and head out to the lake or ocean on a calm, high visibility day without miraging, and you will see the flat Earth for yourself. We see too far. There is no Earth curvature at 8 inches per mile squared. That is a fact. Back in 1838, Samuel Rowbotham tested the purported Earth's curvature with a telescope standing 8 inches above the water while he watched a boat remain visible for a distance of 6 miles, which should have been impossible under the official globe dimensions. In fact, the boat should have been mathematically hidden 16 feet below the horizon, but it wasn't. Rowbotham's book, Zetetic Astronomy, is a must-read, where he includes many other tests as well. In Zetetic Astronomy, Rowbotham introduced the world to the curvature formula. Now, I understand Romania uses the metric system, however, I'll be using mostly the imperial system for simplicity, so please bear with me. I want everyone in the audience to please show me by raising your hands how many of you know the answer to this question. 8 inches per? Please, everyone say it with me. 8 inches per mile squared. How did an entire audience know this mathematical expression? 8 inches per mile squared represents how much a distant object should be hidden below the horizon from a ground level view based on the official mathematical dimensions of the Earth. That is a ball Earth with a circumference of 24,901 miles. The curvature formula is a mathematical certainty for all observable distances with respect to the imaginary globe Earth. Roll-Botham stated the curvature drop formula very well. If the Earth is a globe and is 25,000 English statute miles in circumference, the surface of all standing water must have a certain degree of convexity. Every part must be an arc of a circle. From the summit of any such arc there will exist a curvature or declination of 8 inches in the first statute mile. In the second mile, the fall will be 32 inches. In the third mile, 72 inches or 6 feet, as shown in the following diagram. So, at 1 mile, a distant object should drop 8 inches. Now, I bet there are a few people here who have stood at the edge of a lake on a clear day with binoculars and could see the shore on the other side 8 miles away. But there should have been roughly a drop of 43 feet. Let's be clear, there is an adjustment for observation height, but even at an observation height of 6 feet above the water and a distance of 8 miles, 17 feet should be hidden by the curvature of the Earth, and yet you can see people walking on the beach at the opposite shore. At 100 miles distance, the curvature drop is so substantial that it would hide a 6,667 foot tall mountain like this one here, Mount Drum in Alaska. The prominence of this mountain is 6,710 feet, very close. How many people have witnessed a drop this tall while driving 100 miles along a coastal road? You can see 100 miles with a high zoom camera. No one has witnessed this curvature. The Suez Canal, as shown in this video, is 120 miles long. Under your official globe model, that's a curvature drop of 9,600 feet or 2,926 meters. That's about the prominence of Mount Shasta, shown here. Do you see a curvature drop of 9,600 feet along the Suez Canal in this video that could hide Mount Shasta? I don't. Another important question is, why haven't you ever heard about the very fun fact that the Earth supposedly drops at 8 inches per mile squared? Everyone's heard of E equals mc squared, and no one can apply that to reality. But up until just a few years ago, no one ever heard of the Earth's supposed curvature drop of 8 inches per mile squared, even though every person should see this on a daily basis. Flat Earth is founded on repeatable observations and tests that anyone here can perform, and millions of people are seeing the truth despite the overwhelming propaganda and censorship that is now happening. Because of the Flat Earth revolution, YouTube has taken active steps to stop the Flat Earth on its website, as openly stated in Congress by the president of YouTube, as shown right here. Yes, the president of YouTube proclaimed that YouTube would suppress Flat Earth and promote the official story, and it's YouTube's official policy. And so it's hard to find genuine Flat Earth researchers anymore. YouTube is now actively banning and suppressing peace-loving people like me while simultaneously promoting the official globe narrative. But Google's censorship cannot undo what has been done. Humanity has discovered that there is indeed no curvature to the Earth, and that truth will not be suppressed because you can see it for yourself with merely a telescope or high-zoom camera. I thought flat earthers were maybe faking their tests, so I bought this camera so I could see it for myself. Flat earthers aren't faking anything. Unlike the globe model propagandists, you don't have to trust us. Flat Earth isn't word of mouth anymore. I can show you the actual video proof again and again and again.